Today, we are uncovering something every Flutter developer should master: the various ways to create a Flutter project. Whether you are a beginner learning the basics or a seasoned developer looking for more efficient workflows, I will walk you through a couple of methods to get your project up and running, along with one useful tip. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which approach works best for you. So, let's get started. In our previous video, we have installed Flutter on our machine. Now, we are ready to create our Flutter project. There are two ways to create a Flutter project. First, we can use Visual Studio Code to create our Flutter project, or we can use command line tools that we have installed using the Flutter SDK. But which approach is better? Let's find out. So let's use first VS Code to create our Flutter project. So let me open up the Visual Studio Code. Okay. To create our Flutter project, I will hit shortcut Command Shift P. This will open up this command palette. We have this Flutter new project option over here. We will select this. Okay. Now it's displaying us a list of project templates that we can use to create our Flutter project. There are various templates like application, empty application, skeleton. Okay. We will choose application as our project template. Okay. So let's select this one. Now it's asking us to select a folder where we can create our project. So I will choose this folder. Okay. Now it's asking me to enter the project name. So let me enter the project name. Okay. While entering the project name, just make sure all the characters are in lowercase and they are separated. The words are separated by the underscore character. This is just the guideline that Flutter community follows to name the Flutter project. Okay, so we have entered our project name. Let's hit enter. And our project is now getting created and it's done. We have successfully created our Flutter project using Visual Studio Code. Okay, and we are now ready to run our project. Okay, so this is the first way to create our Flutter project using the Visual Studio Code, which provides us a sleek user interface. Now let's use the command line tools to create our Flutter project. Now to create the Flutter project using the command line tools, we have to execute the command Flutter create and we have to specify the project name. Okay, so let's type Flutter underscore app, and if I hit enter, it will create the Flutter project for me, and it's done already. As we can see over here, it has given us some links for the Flutter documentation, and it also provided us these steps in order to run our application. Okay, so let's do that. We can go to the directory Flutter underscore app, and if I just type code and dot, it will open this project in the Visual Studio Code, and we can see that. And now we are ready to run our Flutter application that we have created using the Flutter command line tools. Now let's go back to the terminal one more time. Let me clear this. There are few more options that Flutter create command provides us. So let's go through those. Let me type Flutter create -- help. Okay. And this is the list of options that Flutter create command provides us. Using this command, we can provide the description for our project, which will be added in the pubspec.yml file. Then we can also provide the org, using which we can control the bundle identifier for our Android and iOS project. We can provide the project name. Then we can also change the language for the iOS and Android project. By default for iOS, Swift language is used, but we can change to Objective-C if we want to. And for Android, Kotlin language is used, but we can change to Java if we want to. Okay. Then we can also control the platforms which our Flutter project support. By default, when we create our Flutter project, it support all the platform like Android, iOS, Linux, web, and Windows. But suppose if you want to support only Android and iOS, then we can create a Flutter project that supports only Android and iOS. Okay, and we can also select the template that we want to use to create our Flutter project. We have also seen this option when we were creating Flutter project using Visual Studio Code. When we try to create a Flutter project using Visual Studio Code, let me open up the Visual Studio Code and close this project. And if I try to do it again, these are the same options: application, empty application, module, package, plugin. These are the same options that Flutter command line tools also provide us to create the Flutter project. Okay, and yeah, so these are the options that Flutter create command provides. So using these options, we can control how the Flutter project is created using the command line tools. Now let's see how we can create the Flutter project for Android and iOS only. For that purpose, let me clear up the terminal and close the Visual Studio Code. Now we will only create the Flutter project for Android and iOS platform. So let's see. Flutter create. Okay, we will provide the platforms. Okay, we want to create only project for Android and iOS. Let's provide the description for our project. Android, iOS application. Okay, then let's provide the org. We can type it as com.myflutter app. Okay, and we can use template option to select the template. We will choose app template and let's type the project name, Android iOS application. Okay, now if I hit enter, it will create the project only for Android and iOS platform. Let me hit enter. It's creating the project and it's done. Now if I go into the Android iOS application directory, okay, and hit code dot, it will open up the Visual Studio Code. And as we can see over here, it has created a Flutter project only for iOS and Android. And let's see what are the other options that we have provided. We have provided the description. So let's go to the pubspec.yml file and we can see the description that we have provided over here, Android iOS application. It is now added in our pubspec.yml file. Then we have provided the org option. So let's go to the Android project, bundle.gradle. No, not this one. In the app folder, bundle.gradle, we can see the org name that we have provided, com.myflutter app. The org name that we have provided here is used over here. So in this way, we can create our Flutter project using the Flutter command line tools. Okay, and this option provides us more control over the project creation process. So which approach is better? Honestly, it depends on you. If you love clean and visual environment, Visual Studio Code is your best friend. But if you like full control over the project creation process, or you're working with some script for automation, then command line is unbeatable. So why not master both? Be the developer who codes with an elegance of VS Code and efficiency of terminal. Double the tools, double the awesomeness. And that's a wrap. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and try to create a Flutter project using Visual Studio Code and command line tools, and let me know in the comments which method do you prefer? If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Flutter content. Until next time, happy coding.